In last hour, we have discussed the gravitational potential energy and also we have discussed a few questions. Today, we will take remaining questions. Today's my first question is, consider we have a ring of mass m. This is a ring whose mass is say capital M and radius of the ring is capital R. Then say at a distance of root 3 times of radius we have placed a mass M. You know, this mass attract this mass. As a result, this mass start to move towards a ring. Today's question is, what is the velocity of this mass when it reaches the center of the ring? What is the velocity of the mass when it reaches to the center of the ring is the question. Okay, see the solution. As we know, here the force, this mass M is attracted by the ring. Today we are taking the ring and this mass is a system. On this system, no external forces are acting. Hence, energy is conserved. Total energy is conserved. Therefore, I can write total energy of the system initial is equal to total energy of the system final. Initial means when it is here. Final means when it is here. So here, you know, this M is placed means initial velocity is 0. So before going to that, I can write kinetic energy initial plus potential energy initial is equal to kinetic energy final plus potential energy final. See, initially this M is placed. Since it is placed, velocity is 0. When velocity is 0, its kinetic energy also 0. Then plus potential energy at this point. You know, potential energy of the ring on the axis. Already we have taken this as minus capital G, capital M, small m divided by distance of the ring from the mass, that is under root of r square plus x square is the formula. Actually x means this is our x, is equal to kinetic energy when it reaches is half m v square plus potential energy is minus capital G, capital M, small m divided by under root of r square. At the center, this x will be equal to 0. I hope now you can simplify to get the answer. First you pause the screen and arrive the answer. Please try. Okay, then see, it is minus capital G, capital M, small m divided by under root of, this is r square, x means root 3r. Root 3r whole square is 3r square. 3r square is equal to half m v square plus into minus minus capital G, capital M, small m divided by r square. You know 1r square plus 3r square is 4r square. 4r square root is 2r. Okay, so if I bring it toward this side, this minus becomes plus. So capital G, capital M, small m by r. Series of r root r square. Root r square is r. This is minus, as I told you just now, capital G, capital M, small m divided by its 2r is equal to half m v square. Hope you know. Here in these two, small m is common and taken out, and this is cancelled also, right? So if I cancel, then LCM of these two is 2r, is a LCM, it is multiplied by 2. 2gm minus 1gm is gm. Okay, is equal to half v square. This 2 get cancels. Finally, I can say v is equal to under root of capital G, capital M by r. Hope you got this answer, or otherwise please verify it. Okay, see here my next question is potential energy of a body of mass m is ax plus by. It is a potential energy of a body of mass m. Then what is the magnitude of acceleration of the body is how much? What is the magnitude of the magnitude of the acceleration of the body of mass m is the question. Okay, please try. So as you know, here we can get this acceleration in the formula of force, and we given is potential energy, means we have to write the relation between the force and potential energy to get the answer. So you know the relation as F equal to minus du by dx I cap minus du by dy j cap. We know a force is nothing but mass into acceleration. Here minus sign is common. So differentiate this with respect to x, differentiate this with respect to y. You get your answer. Oh, it is A I cap plus B j cap. So we know today we want a magnitude. So it is in vector form. To get in magnitude, you know, it is A is along x-axis, B is along y-axis. Then to get this resultant, I can say under root of sum of their square, A square plus B square. This I have written directly because already many times I told magnitude of two vectors which are perpendicular to each other is given by under root of sum of their square. So today we want acceleration A equal to that is under root of a square plus b square divided by m. Please note down. Okay, so next question is, consider we have two spheres. Consider we have two spheres. This is a one sphere of radius say 2a or 2r. This is another sphere of say radius a, and center of this is separated by center or distance between center of small sphere and center of large sphere is 12a. Then question is, suppose its mass is 5m and its mass is m. Question is, what is the distance traveled by small sphere? What is the distance traveled by small sphere before or just before they collide? Just before they collide is the question. Hope you might have understood this question. Same type of questions already we have discussed in electrostatics as well as in rotational motion. In rotational motion as well as in electrostatics, we have discussed that when two bodies are moving under the internal forces, then there is no motion of center of mass of the system. There is no motion of center of mass of the system. Second, when they are moving towards each other, they collide at the center of mass of the system. That we have discussed. Okay, see, today's question is, here whenever they are moving towards each other, when this mass moves towards each other, this and this, where they collide is the question. See, my simple is, assume here the students may get confused. Here this complete mass is assumed to be concentrated here. Here is a phi m and here is m, separated by distance 12a. Then you may find distance of center of mass is equal to, mass into summation of mass into distance divided by summation of mass is the formula. Here directly we can say, here I want distance traveled by this small. So I want to measure from here. Distance of small m from the reference point is 0 plus distance of this 5m into distance is 12a whole divided by total mass is 5m plus m is 6m. After simplification, you may get 10a. Means you may think that it is 10a. Means distance traveled by small m before colliding is 10a. But it is wrong, because here before traveling this m is extended this much, this m is extended this much. Hence we cannot use this formula. But what to do? Hence, before the collision starts, here m has extended up to here, phi m has extended up to here. Means distance traveled by both the spheres combinedly just before the collision is, we have to consider. Today, instead of taking this center of mass, we have to take total distance traveled. Total distance traveled by both spheres combinedly is, so here to here, out of 12a we have to subtract 2a from here, a from here, then what is the total distance? Hope it is 9a. So today, instead of total distance 12a, we have to consider 9a, then we can get our answer. Hope you can do it yourself. Center of mass from here, that is 0 plus 5m into 9a, distance of this 9a divided by total is 6m. 5m plus m is 6m. Then m cancel. 3 2s are 3 3s are 15 by 2 means I think 7.5 a meter is answer. So distance traveled by small sphere before collision is 7.5 a is the answer. Okay, please note down. Another question on law of conservation of energy, that is, two masses, say it is m, it is 2m. Now they are at infinity, they are at infinite distance. M and 2m are the two particles. Now they are at infinite distance. Now 2m attract m, 2m attract m, as well as m attract 2m. As a result, they start to move towards each other. Then what is the velocity, relative velocity? What is the relative velocity of two particles when they are at a distance of r? When they are at a distance of r is the question. It is m, it is 2m. Relative velocity of two particles. Relative velocity of two particles when they are at a distance r is the question. See, same kind of questions already we have taken in electrostatics. There I used the word reduced mass. I used the word reduced mass. So that reduced mass is equal to product of two masses divided by sum of the two masses. When we take the reduced mass, we get the relative velocity. Okay, see one by one. As you know, here in this problem, once again, m and 2m is considered as a system of two particles. In this system of two particles, the total energy of the system is conserved. Means total energy when they are at infinity is equal to total energy when they are at a distance r. Are equal. Okay, so if we use this, so when they are at infinity, you know, there is no kinetic energy, there is no potential energy at all. So hence I can write total energy initial is equal to total energy final. So initially there is no kinetic, no potential. So for your convenience, I'll write kinetic plus potential is equal to kinetic plus potential. Initial, final. No kinetic, no potential initially. So finally, when they are at a distance r, kinetic is half into reduced mass into relative velocity or velocity of 1 with respect to second, plus potential energy is minus capital G into m into 2m divided by distance r. Hope now you can substitute and simplify to get the answer. Do it fast. Bring it toward this side. Minus becomes plus 2 capital G m square by r is equal to half product of two masses m into 2m is 2m square, m plus 2m is 3m into velocity of first with respect to second whole square. Hope now you can cancel the terms. m square, 2 cancel. Then remaining is if I send it toward this side 6m. So velocity of first with respect to second whole square is equal to 6 capital G m divided by r is the answer, or v can be written as under root of 6 capital G m by r. Okay, this is the answer. Suppose in the same problem, if they ask what is the velocity of m and velocity of 2m. So for that, suppose imagine this, I'll call it as a first particle. If I call this as a second particle. Now once again, here momentum is also conserved. So to get velocity of m and velocity of 2m, we have to take a law of conservation of momentum. That is, so before is 0 because both are at rest, only we have to take after. So m into v1, see, we know that it is moving toward this side with say velocity v1, it is moving this side with velocity v2. Here this velocity I have considered it as positive, then this velocity I should consider it as negative because both are in opposite direction. Then it is minus 2mv2. After complete simplification, if you bring it toward this side, 2v2 can be written as v1. Okay, so as we know that it is relative velocity of 1 with respect to 2. Relative velocity of 1 with respect to 2 is equal to v1 minus v2. So v1 as it is. Since both are in opposite direction, v2 is minus. So this we can write v1 plus v2. v1 is nothing but 2v2. 2v2, v2 is nothing but velocity of 1 with respect to 2 is 3v2. This is nothing but under root of 6 capital G m by r is equal to 3v2. Bring 3 this side, identify, take inside. So v2 is equal to under root of, if you take this 3, if I bring it inside the root, it will be 9. 6 by 9 is 2 by 3. 2 divided by 3 capital G m by r. Similarly, what is v1? v1 is nothing but 2 times of v2, or v1 is equal to this 2. If I take under root, it will be for 8 under root of 8, I think 8 capital G m by 3r. So verify yourself. I have written directly. Sometimes it may be wrong. Please simplify yourself. Okay, same question I can modify. Or you can write, you can practice yourself. Suppose the two masses m and 2m are separated by distance a. Now they are released. Then what is the relative velocity of m and 2m, relative velocity, when they are at a distance of a by 2 is the question. I hope this problem is similar to our previous. So in initially we have taken both are at infinity, hence both energies initial become 0. Now in this present, this is not equal to 0. Of course this is 0. It is not equal to 0. You have to write potential energy of two particles when they are at a distance a, and we have to solve. Okay, it is your practice question. Please practice. Pause the screen and practice. After that I'll write answers. Hope no problem. You can write yourself. There is no change in previous and present problems. Do yourself. Okay, next question is, we have two spheres. It's a large sphere, it is the smaller sphere. Larger sphere of radius 2a, smaller sphere of radius a. Both are now separated by distance, say 10a, and say its mass is 16 m is the mass of this larger sphere, m is the mass of the smaller sphere. Then question is, suppose if I place another particle of mass, say m naught, then what is the minimum velocity, where minimum velocity should be given to this m naught so that it can reach the surface of smaller sphere? This is a very important question, and this question is already appeared in JEE for 10 marks, I think. It's for subjective question. Okay, please look at here. It is also based on law of conservation of energy. But what kind of mistake a student can do? The student will do, right, apply the law of conservation of energy concept from here to here, but it's wrong. Because see, actually what happens when, say, between two spheres, somewhere here the net intensity is 0. When net intensity is 0, net force experienced by the particle is 0. Then this side force is dominated by this larger sphere, hence net force will be this side. Beyond this point, net force will be that side, F net will be that side. Hence today no need to bring the particle from here to here. If you bring the particle up to here, then this small m will attract this m naught by itself. Hence today we have to know how much velocity we have to provide for this m naught to bring this point. This is nothing but our null point, or the point where field is 0. This is a null point. So it means today we have to apply the law of conservation of energy from surface of larger sphere to null point. Okay, now our first aim is to find where is the null point. To find out the null point, I have a direct relation, that is x is equal to total distance divided by 1 plus larger mass is 16 m divided by smaller mass m raised to half from smaller mass, that is m. If you simplify the total distance, say instead of this d I can write 10a divided by m cancel, 16 half is 4 plus 1 is 5. So finally it is x equal to 2a from m. If it is 2a from m inta 2a antandre, then same x will be equal to 8a from 16m. Then we have to apply the law of conservation of energy. See here to here distance is 8a Here to here distance is 2a. Then apply at this point. So first here to here, first I will write law of conservation of energy here, initial, that is kinetic energy initial plus potential energy initial is equal to kinetic energy final plus potential energy final. So today I am providing velocity at this point. Therefore here we have velocity, means kinetic energy. The velocity must be in such a way that it just reaches to the point, that just reaches to the null point. Hence, so first kinetic energy is half m naught or say m whatever, and v minimum square plus there is a potential energy due to larger sphere minus capital G into 16m into m naught divided by distance is 2a. There is a potential energy of this also plus of minus capital G into m naught divided by distance from here to here is 8a. It is initial equal to final kinetic energy 0 plus potential energy of this minus capital G into 16m into m naught divided by, from larger sphere it is 8a, plus of due to this minus capital G capital M into m naught divided by distance is 2a. So because of lack of space I am not deriving this. Please simplify and get the answer. I'll give you few minutes, then I'll write answer. Pause the screen and try. So answer is under root of 45 into capital G capital M divided by 4a. Hope you might have got this answer. Okay, so this is our gravitational potential energy. Our next remaining points are, one is escape velocity, another is Kepler's laws of planetary motion. If I finish these 2 points, then topic will be over. Please watch these videos regularly and daily, 1 or 2 times. But while writing, take page, paper and pen and write down completely whatever I said. Okay, and after that we'll discuss questions later. I'm making arrangement for displaying questions also. Okay, we'll continue in the next video.